Right, hey guys, Brendan from WA Experts and Broome and Beyond Camper Hire. Today we're going to show you through our beautiful 79 series with automatic transmission. It's done about 20,000 kilometres. She's absolutely beautiful. So what we're going to do is we're going to start around the vehicle. So we're going to show you how to get into four-wheel drive. Make sure you understand that the window washers are on the left and the indicators on the right. We're going to make sure you know how to connect your phone and go through everything we give you within the car. Inside there is the jack to change a tyre, so we're going to focus a little bit on that. And once we're done, we're going to go through the canopy. Okay. So I'm going to show you everything in there, how the fridge works, and then we're going to finish up with the shower unit, rooftop tent and awning, and then you guys will be on your amazing trip. All right, so I need someone in the driver's seat and someone in the passenger seat. Yeah, I'm going to come over to the driver's seat, or driver's side, should I say. We're going to start there.
Beautiful.
All right, so Jim's got the key, so we're all good there.
Yep.
So what I'm going to get you to do is start the car up straight away. We're outside, so we're going to put a bit of air on and make sure it's all fresh for you guys. It's always good when it starts, hey?
Yeah, that sounds really nice.
Yeah, right. Okay, I'll see you later. You're all good?
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay, so I'm going to start from right to left, and we'll just go through the vehicle. So you've got electric windows, just like this. As you can see, it goes down. We can lock the doors, so if you've got kids in the back, you don't want them to get out, you can lock them from there. And if they're doing up and down the window, you can actually lock the windows as well.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
So that's that button there. This vehicle is fitted with what we call a diesel particulate filter. So what that is it's an emission, so it's on the exhaust and it does a self-clean. So it does tell you on here, what's going to happen is on this little screen, every few hundred kilometres it's going to say DPF regeneration in progress. The reason I tell you that is if I don't, you're going to ring me and say, what is this? Okay. It's just the car doing a self-clean. So no need to worry. It's going to do it every few hundred kilometres, normal as. All right? Coming across to this panel here, we have our headlights. It tells you they're high beams. To activate.
The beams? Oh, okay. Is it okay if I turn it off?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Okay. But now we can still use
All right,
it.
yeah, perfect. So, yeah, we've got high beams there, so we activate them, and then from there, it's on like that.
Okay.
Okay? This will just dim your dash, so you can change the brightness of your dash.
Cool.
We have, don't worry about these too much, that's a DPF clean. So that's to force the generation, the DPF into a clean. This is not something you'll do probably whilst we own the car. Once it gets a lot older, you'll need to do more frequent burns.
Okay.
And the mechanics will use that switch as well when they do burns, so no need to worry about that.
Okay.
All right. We have an idle up here, which is if you are going up some hills and you want to have a better idle so you can manage the brake a little bit more. Yep. That'll increase your idle speed.
Okay.
All right. Indicators on the right. Window washers on the left. Now, Europeans always come back with very clean windows. All right, very clean windows, because every time they think they're indicating, they'll be putting the window washers on. We have cruise control here, so it's push to activate, up and down to set.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so on the steering wheel, we have two sides of controls. This control here controls this screen. So if I can go up, we can see our range of diesel,
fuel efficiency.
Yeah, and speedometer. So that's probably the most important one, is to keep an eye on your speed as you're going. So I normally leave it on that. Yep. And then this side here is to control your stereo and Bluetooth.
Gotcha. That has Bluetooth, very nice.
Yeah, so Bluetooth, but it also has Apple CarPlay. So if you connect your phone into this USB socket here, you can then connect either Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. If you then have the maps on your phone,
then they go directly
then they'll come directly up to here as well.
Cool, that's
all right.
awesome.
Yeah. So coming across here, we have your air conditioning. It speaks for itself, cold to warm. On the LandCruisers, I like to have it on high, and all that is high cold, and then adjust your fan speed. That is how I find they work the best.
Okay.
But more than happy for you to play however you like. we have recirculation and breathing from the front. So when you go down red dirt roads, make sure you're on recirculation. After a couple of days, you'll have a film of red dirt through the car. All right. And then direction is there. All right. Cool. Now, lovely new cars. They come with USB-C. So you can, if you have an iPhone, you're ready to go, which is fantastic. Cool. We also give you a USB splitter for an extra charging point, but also when we go up into the tent, you're going to see there's a 12-volt socket up there, so you can take that up there at night and charge your phones and devices from up there.
Like this up there?
Yep. So you'll take that with you and take it out.
Oh, cool.
Yep. So just not that, just this.
And there's a 12-volt.
Yep. And there's another cigarette socket up in the tent.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Very handy. Convenient.
All right. So the next bit is to get into four-wheel drive.
Yep.
Okay. Now, have you done much four-wheel driving before?
I have, yeah.
Perfect.
But we can...
Yep, we'll still show you the same way, no matter what. And we'll go through a process. This one we will have to start the car for.
Yep, okay.
Okay, so with this it's automatic. So the way I say it is, there's two things we need to do when we're changing terrains. So we'll need to change the mode of four-wheel drive, but also let down our tyres. So if we do this as the same process, let's say we're going from road to red dirt and from red dirt to beach sand. So we're going to go through the stages of that. So every time you're about to change terrains, you'll pull over, you'll adjust your tyre pressures to the terrain that's about to come up. I'm going to go through tyre pressures at the end with you and show you how to inflate and deflate with what we give you. So let's just say we're driving down the road, which is our normal two-wheel drive, which is what we're in now, and we're about to go onto some red dirt road. Now, red dirt road is high-range four-wheel drive. The reason we do that is not so much because we're going to get stuck in any kind of sand or anything like that, but it's to give us much better control and traction. So what it'll alleviate is if you're doing 70 or 80 kilometres on red dirt, say the Gibb River Road, you can still do that speed, but if you go around a long bend, you'll find the back end will start to kick out and slide out a little bit. High range four-wheel drive will stop that and give you much better control, and it's much better safety. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to change from two-wheel drive to high range. So we're going to pull over. Because we're out in the car park, we're just going to keep your foot on the brake for me. We've got the handbrake up, and we're going to put the car into neutral. Okay. So from there we have our little two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive switch. Yep, that one. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull that lever up and down one. So if you can do that for me. Perfect. So see this icon here, the green icon? That is high range four-wheel drive. That's all we need to do, and off we go on our red dirt road adventure. That is it. But now what we're going to do is we're going to go to low range four-wheel drive. Now low range four-wheel drive is very important for soft sands, river crossings, anywhere where we're going to have to go slow and in some really soft terrain. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pull the lever up and down all the way. All right, so basically what it's saying now is that the anti-collision system is unavailable, which is what you want, which is basically a camera through here. Okay. And also your traction control is off, so which is again what you want. Yep. All right. Now, this car here, being a GXL LandCruiser, is fitted with diff locks. Yep. So let's just say now we're going down the beach and we get stuck. The best thing we're going to do is check our tyre pressure. We're going to dig out a little bit of sand and we're going to put the front and rear diff locks on. To do that, we push that in and we go either RR for rear only or FR for front and rear. Okay. All right. What this will do is give you, so what the car will do naturally in low range is if that wheel starts spinning, the car will intelligently tell that tyre to add more power and that less. Yep. That is fantastic when you've got momentum. When you are stuck, you want the car to be a tractor. You want all four wheels to be going like this. Yep. Be aware if you put the front diff locks on, you won't have much steering. So it's really just to get out and then turn them back off. Okay. Okay? Cool. So what we're going to do now is we're going to show you how to get out of four-wheel drive. So we're going to pull the gear stick up and all the way up. You need to be nice and rough with it with a LandCruiser and give it a good slam. Yeah. Now all the lights are off.
Will something show?
And now
all
there's
the
no
lights are
longer
off.
thing.
Yep.
It doesn't say two-wheel drive.
It doesn't say two-wheel drive or anything. It's just with no lights on.
Yeah.
Then you are not engaged in four-wheel drive.
That's very important if you are on a normal road.
Yeah, so very important to come back out of four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
So four-wheel drive mode can only be done when there is loss of traction.
Yeah. So if we would have a 4x4 on a normal road, we would ruin the engine.
Yeah, the engine will probably cope nicely, but you will do your diffs.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's four-wheel drive.
Great.
Let's see what else I've got here. So I'm going to come around the other side.
Yeah.
If that's all right, just so I can see some more features.
Yeah.
So when we're changing driving modes, we have three driving modes. There's two-wheel drive, high range, four-wheel drive, high range, and four-wheel drive, low range. On top of the low range, there's also differential locks, which we'll go through as well. So every time we change mode of driving, we need to pull over to the side of the road. We're not going to do it whilst we're driving. The good thing about that is that we need to adjust our tyre pressure. So we're going to do it all on the side of the road in the safe spot. So we're going to adjust our tyre pressure, which we're going to go through at the end. I'm going to give you the tyre pressures for the different driving modes, and also show you how to do that with the deflator and inflator.
And this is when we go from like a tarred road, bitumen, to dirt, and then maybe to
correct,
sand.
and then to sand. Yep. So we're going to have different tyre pressures, and they're vehicle specific because we've got different weights on these vehicles. So when we're changing, we're going to pull over to the side of the road. We're going to put the main gear shifter into neutral, and from there we're going to grab the four-wheel drive gear shifter, and we're going to go up and down one. From there you'll see the four-wheel drive icon come on the screen, and that is high range.
Okay.
All right. Then we're going to go driving on our red dirt road. It's obviously used in snow as well, but just so you get the idea and the concept in your head why you would use it. You're not going to see any of that in Western Australia or Northern Territory or pretty much anywhere in Australia, whilst you're camping at least anyway. But it gives you a really good idea as to why. Now when we do low range for the softer sands, we're going to pull the gear shifter up and go all the way down. So what that will do then is essentially turn the car into a bit of a tractor. So it really gives you that low grunt, slow moving, high torque to get you through the real soft stuff. So that's used in sand, river crossings, mud, and anywhere where it's really loose. Now this vehicle, as I said before, is fitted with differential locks. So it has both front and rear lockers. So what they do is, without them, what will happen is the car will intelligently have one wheel spinning and then take power away from that and put it onto this other wheel. Now when you get stuck or you're going through a really, really soft patch, there's a really good example is in Francois Perron. There's a really big patch where it's quite handy to have diff locks. And what it does is it takes away that intelligence and makes both wheels or all four wheels turn in the same direction at the same time. Now to do that, all we're going to do is again kind of pull over, push the diff lock in and go to rear. The other instance you would use that as if you were stuck in the sand. Now if you were stuck, you could use rear and front together, keeping in mind when you use the front diff lockers, because you've got power going at the same, when you turn, the vehicle's basically just going to keep going. So you're actually going to dig yourself in a bit more of a rut. So ideally you would just go straight, get out of the sticky situation, and then turn the diff locks back off.
And that you do here.
Cool. So you just push them in and turn around.
Nice.
And then when we're done forward driving and we're about to go back on the tarmac, we're going to put the car back in neutral, lift the gear stick up and all the way up, back until there's no forward drive lights on the dash, and then we're back in two-wheel drive. And again, we'll adjust our tyres back to road pressure.
Very good.
Okay. All right. So we also have a two-way radio. So they're not going to kind of get you out of big trouble or anything like that. They're not designed for that. They're designed for two different reasons. One is if you're traveling in a group, you never know, you might make some friends and you can have a chat on the way. But the other reason is for safety when driving on the roads with trucks and caravans. So we have this set for you at channel 40. So 40 is the truck, what I call the truck network across Australia. So you'll find most people on the road, four-wheel drive campers, will be using channel 40. So you're all communicating on the same channel. So, for safety reasons, but the biggest thing for me is when you come behind a truck Western Australia is, some places are reasonably isolated, so you've got trucks running up and down the coast and definitely through the centre as well. They can be up to 56 metres long.
Wow.
So it takes a good 60 seconds at 100 kilometres an hour plus to overtake them. So really good to communicate with that driver, letting him know you're overtaking, but even asking kindly whether they can let you know when they, think it's safe to overtake, because they can see much further ahead than what you can. Now, look, they're human. They're not all going to kind of answer you, but I find that most of them are pretty good. So I'll just be like, hey, I'm in the LandCruiser behind you. Can you let me know when it's free to overtake? And they'll probably jump on there and go, yeah, mate, no worries, I'll let you know. And then sure enough, you just say thank you as you go past. All right, cool. So any questions with that?
That's awesome.
All right, let's see what other goodies we have in here. So I'll put that back shortly. All right, so here we have your tyre deflator. So at the end, it's the last thing we're going to do today, because it's the most important thing. We're going to show you how to inflate and deflate your tyres. So I'm just going to put that up here.
Okay.
We have some headlight torches for you.
Nice.
Fresh batteries in there. And we have a torch for you as well.
This is magnetic?
Okay. Magnetic, it is
That's
the...
so cool. Check this out.
Wow.
All
You
right.
can put it everywhere.
That's aluminium, it won't work on that.
shit.
I don't think. No good. That's not quite everywhere.
Almost.
All right, so this is a safety locator beacon. We provide them with all our vehicles. Some are inbuilt, and this one here is a handheld, so you can take it with you if you're going on a hike or anything like that. Look, it has basic instructions on the back, but really it's just flip this up, press the button, hold it down, and it activates. Now, this is kind of like if you have a serious accident, there's no one around, like you break your ankle and you need emergency help. It's not if you run out of beer, like it's not going to work.
Bummer.
Yeah, this is not what it's for. And look, we've never had one be set off before, and touch wood we don't, but it's really handy to have.
Yeah.
Like if you witness an accident or something like that and you need emergency help, you're not in phone range, this is it.
What exactly will happen?
So basically, they will contact me first because it's registered under me. Then I'll let them know who's driving the vehicle. I also have the vehicle's tracked, so I'll be able to see and make sure that it's corresponding as well.
Yep.
But essentially, they're going to send out someone, whether it be SES or search and rescue, and
With a helicopter, if you're in
potentially. It just depends.
national park somewhere?
Yeah, they'll send. To be honest, if you're a national park, they'll probably contact the local ranger first, because they're going to be the closest. But yeah, it really depends where you are.
So it's for a life-threatening situation.
Correct. Yeah, correct. All right, cool. All right, so now let's just hop in the back and have a look. So, what we have here is we have some bath towels and beach towels for you. We have HEMA off-road Australian road and four-wheel drive maps.
Yeah.
So these are really cool. Good to have a look, and you can just plan, especially you're having a bit of dinner, and after dinner you just have a look at the next day and what you're going to do. Pretty cool to go back old school and just have a look. They're a fantastic map.
In every vehicle?
Sorry, in every vehicle, yes. Right, over here we have some fly nets for you. So basically these will go over the top of your hat. Fantastic to have. Look, flies aren't always bad, it just depends on the weather, where you are, but really good to have them there in the vehicle.
Nice.
All right. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to drop this back seat. I'm just going to show you what's in there.
Okay.
So I'll take these towels out just quickly. Thanks, Till. All right, so I'm going to drop the back seat like this. And in the back here, we have to move these seats forward. Sorry, guys. We'll have to move them forward.
Julian, you have to hop out quick.
Sorry, just so I can flip it right over just to show you guys. All right. So in the back here we have the Toyota toolkit and the jack to change a tyre. So I'll show you the spare tyres as we go around. If you've got any questions, then by all means let me know. Okay, but this is everything you need to change a tyre.
Great.
Okay. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go around to the other side of the vehicle and work our way through the canopy. Ready for that?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, so this is your roof rack. You guys are going to take some swag, so we're going to put them up there and strap them up there this afternoon. This is where you get up to get on your tent. So there's a little deck up here, which you'll see once we put the ladder on. Fantastic to be able to put your shoes up there, leave them up there at night and get into the tent. But we're going to explain that a little bit more as we go around. All right, so coming into the canopy. Now before I do the canopy, what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to grab the car keys, which you have. Fantastic, and just show you, so this canopy is central locking.
Aha,
okay.
It locks.
So it's on a separate key to the car, it's not joined in.
Okay.
If for some reason the battery went dead in there, then we just have keys to override.
Okay.
So that's fine.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to unlock it. I can give you those back now. Thank you. And we're going to open up the canopy. All right, so there's a bit of gear in here. So I'm going to go through it slowly. We're going to start with the water tank. So in the back bag, which I will get around to, there's a hose to fill the water tank and use for your shower. So I'll show you all that as we go around. This is where we fill the water tank. So you can do this at service stations, water fill points in the national parks. Some towns will also, small towns will have water fill stations as well, especially the tourist towns. Like I know Exmouth has one. I know there's one at the start of Francois Perron, so they do cater quite well for that stuff. In Australia, it's important for them legally to tell you if it's not potable water. So if there's no sign saying it's not drinkable water, it very much should be drinkable water. Okay. As you're filling this, you do have a gauge on the side where you can see if it gets full. So you see, I've left it a little bit empty just so you get the idea, because once you fill it, you don't actually know if there's water in there or not until you start draining it. But you can fill it a little bit more than that. Whilst you're filling, so this here is a 60 litre water tank. It will overflow out here.
60 litres.
So you'll know. All right? 60 litres is more than enough. I always say when you top up your fuel, top up your water, you'll never run out of water. You'll use fuel way quicker. So, all right, so we've got a butane cooker here. Now, I presume you guys haven't used one of these, so we're going to do a quick demo on this, okay? Okay. All right, so I'm just going to do it right down here on the floor. We used to do gas bottles on our vehicles, but we've stopped doing that and do butane. Reason being is very hard to fill gas bottles in remote locations. Having butane cans, you always know when you're on your last two, you've got a few days left. So really handy, and you can pick them up almost anywhere now. So this one here, double butane cooker. Lift this off. We have a little hot plate for the Aussie barbecue. Now you can remove that. And we also have a little pot here as well. Can remove, and then we have other fry pans and pots that you can replace with that. Just to see here, guys, what we have in here is a butane can. So let's say we're putting a new can in. One of these will last about 3 meals as well, just as a rough guide. We have an arrow here. This little tab needs to line up with the arrow. We put that in, and then we engage the can like that. From there, all we'll do is push in and light it, and that is it. Once we're finished, undo it, disengage the can, and we can put it back in the box. You guys cool with that?
Yeah.
So where do we put it while we want to do the cooking, and so we don't get too much wind coming or something?
Yeah, so we have 2 tables here. The good thing is they're portable tables, so you can move it to different wind directions. What I definitely would say is you're probably going to be living on the other side of the car, as in your fridge is there, or your cutlery and cookware. So just think about when you're parking up at a campsite, which way you position your vehicle as for where the wind is coming. And then you'll be, if the wind is say coming this way, we'll put the front of the car there, so we live on that side of the vehicle.
Yep.
And then the wind is blocked by the vehicle itself.
Okay. Yeah. And then you can put that on the table.
Yeah, I have 2 big aluminium tables there.
That will be safe.
Yep, absolutely. And the reason we give you 2 tables is simply because nothing worse than kind of having to cook and move your cooker whilst you eat. You let that cool down whilst you eat, and then when you're finished, you put it away. Okay? All right. Any questions with that?
No, sounds good.
Only goes in one way, that's why we write this way up on there. Tricky part is always getting that in the right spot. Okay. All right, so we have an esky for your cold drinks. Now the reason we give you an esky is you might be going remote for a period of time. These will hold ice for 2 to 3 days, keep your drinks cold. Also the fridges that we provide, all 4-wheel drive fridges, are a compressor fridge. So what happens is, once they get to the temperature that you require, they shut down. They stop consuming battery power.
Okay.
Once they get a few degrees warmer, they'll kick back in and start consuming battery power, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
So if you're having some cold beers and you're opening the fridge and grabbing beers out and
changes
drinks
the
out,
temperature.
the fridge keeps working.
Okay.
So an esky is always handy to have for drinks.
Okay.
All right. Also good never to put warm food into a fridge. Cool it down in the esky first, then put it into the fridge.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a smart idea.
Yep. So that's your esky there.
You always have to put ice in that it works. Yeah. So you have to buy.
Some
ice
people
at
just
the-
use them for storage, so you know it's a great little bit of storage as well.
Yeah.
You can put excess dry food in there if you don't want to use it.
And you buy it just at a petrol station or supermarket.
Yeah. A lot of camping grounds as well.
And then you can just chuck the ice in without plastic and everything. You just
Chuck it in. Yeah,
and then
chuck
it
your
will
drinks
melt,
on top.
and then
It will melt, yeah, and you've got a drain plug, you can drain it or you can tip it out and then just top up ice every few days.
perfect.
Yep. In here we have some camp chairs and a camp table. I don't know whether you guys are pretty familiar with camp chairs, you don't need me to show you that?
No, that's fine.
No? All right. And then what we have in here is your ladder for your tent. So I'm going to take that out now and we're just going to pop this down here. And because the vehicle is quite a big rig, we give you this amazing ladder here too as well. Comes in handy just to kind of reach the awning and the tent clips and whatnot. So what I'm going to do, actually I'll leave this one here with that as well. And the rest is storage. There is some lighting in here, so I'll leave this open. When we go around the other side, I'll show you the buttons and how to turn that on. We have 2 drawers here. So let's show you what we've got in here for you. So this one here, great for your own storage. We have 15 amp power lead to plug the camper in if you need to charge it. We're going to touch base on charging and battery management as we go around there, so that'll make a lot more sense as we do. Some butane cans to get you started. A wash trough, dustpan and brush, personal mosquito repellent, some little straps, a wash pack to get you started, dishwashing liquid cloth, tea towels, and washing line and pegs.
Nice.
Okay? You all good with that?
Yep.
All right. I'll tuck that back in there. All right, and this one here is mainly recovery equipment. So, your air compressor to pump your tires back up. Like I said, at the end of the show through, I'm just going to go through this with you. So for now, I'm just going to put it down here. We have jumper leads, just in case for some reason you leave the lights on or something like that. But normally, it's for you to help someone else on the road and go save the day for you. Really good. Don't go forward driving without jumper leads. We have a toolkit, just basic tools. Screw comes loose, something like that. You know, you've got the tools that you need to do it. All right. We have a snatch strap. Well, it's never been used, so I will be checking when you get back if you've used it, okay? So then I'll know whether you got stuck in the sand or not. So with the snatch strap themselves, we will always try and get pulled out from behind, and we'll use the snatch strap on the back bar. So I can go through that more with you guys later if you wish.
Yep.
All right. A 12-volt strip light. So we have plenty of lighting in the canopy, but sometimes it's nice, you know, to have some lighting over your cooker. You can put it under the awning. So as we go around, I'll show you where you can put this, but this is a 12-volt socket, dimmable strip light. All we do is plug it into a 12-volt socket here, and we can got Velcro, we can tie it up, and then we can also dim it as well on the dimming switch, which is in here. So I will give that and sort that out because I can't seem to see that switch for you. So I'm going to put that up there to get Rabina to sort that out. All good?
Heaps of stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah, so we also, look, we had the water tank, and you'll find that the temperature of the water is normally pretty good. So most people go camping, they chase sun, so the weather, you don't need a hot shower. If you want something a bit warmer, we have a solar shower here. So all you do with that is 20 litres, fill it up with water, maybe put it up on the deck because it's aluminium and it'll just transfer some really good heat for you. Let it warm up for a few hours. You can just hang it up and have a bit of warm water.
Oh,
All right, so they're pretty cool. As I said to you before, this is all the paperwork for the vehicle. So nice and accessible. So if you do, you know, a light comes on the dash or anything like that, you can see what's going on. Shovel for the snakes, remember?
Yeah.
All right, so this is a little foldable shovel, just really good if you get, you know, a little bit stuck in the sand, or you need to, you know, bury some hot ashes when you have a campfire so no one steps on them the next day. Perfect. Some tent pegs in there. They're just for the shower. So when you set up the shower, which we'll show you, you can peg down the straps so if it's a bit windy, you know, you're not in the shower and it's, you know, you see the shape of your bum in the, you know, as the canvas comes towards you. So it'll come in handy. And then fire extinguisher. So we've got a fire extinguisher there as well, which I'm sure you won't need.
Important question. All these things, will they be in pretty much every vehicle from your company?
Yeah, so the WA Experts and Broom and Beyond have two different packing lists. So WA Experts, absolutely, everything. Now stuff like this will be like tent pegs, depending on the brand of the shower, might be different. Just because this one has a different one than that one because of size. But yeah, all the recovery gear, absolutely, everything is the same. Yeah, cool. Okay. Between this side and that side, what I'm going to show you first is spare tyre, number one. Now, in the toolkit, there's a spanner. All you need to do is undo this bolt. If you leave this bolt in the dirt, don't worry, there's a spare one in the glove box, okay? So I purposely put one in there thinking, well, if you lose that, it's not really any good. So, however, it may be easier just rather than bending down, is to get this one off as well. Okay. So both quite simple. This one here, undo the bolt, undo that, slide the spare tyre out, change the tyre. Always let us know as soon as you have a flat tyre. We will ask you where you are, where you're going next, and we'll get it replaced for you on the road. So you're back to 2 spare tyres straight away. With this one here, all you have to do is unclip the bag off the back, and there's 3 bolts, which is done with a tyre lever. Yeah, take this one straight off as well.
What's inside that bag?
So this is a dirty bag. What we use it for, you can use it for whatever you want. Really good for rubbish in between trips, so it's not in your living space. You can dump it when you see a bin. We actually keep your hoses in here to fill your water tank. As I explained before, these hoses here, we have 2. So we have one for your shower itself. This always gets me, a little tangle. All right, so I'm gonna bring this one out here, and these are actually on the wrong ends. So this one here for your shower, and this one here to fill your water tank.
Okay.
Yeah, so what we have in Australia is 2 different size faucets or taps. So if you've got the bigger one, then that's what we do. If you've got the smaller one, then we use that. Try not to lose them because the next stop will always be the one you've just lost.
Yeah.
All right. So to do that, like I said, we just use that on the tap, plug that part into the water tank there, and fill her up. This one here, once we turn the pump on, which I'll show you in a second, this one here clicks onto our tap. Turn the tap on once the pump is on, and a shower away. Or cleaning or filling up your dish bucket. All good with that? All right, your shower unit. So I'm going to show you how to open that. Undo the zip. Chuck the bag over the back. Like so, and we're just going to undo the Velcro here and let it through, and quite simply let it drop down. From there, we're going to grab this one here, pull that across there, and it's going to lock in. With this one here, we're just going to pull it. Now it feels like it's a bit of tension, and it's just going to pop, like so, and then so is the bottom. You can adjust the height, so depending on the ground you're at. We also offer, if needed, a portaloo. So, you know, rather than your ankles show, you can drop that down a bit. Yep. If you're using the portaloo. Also, the pegs that were in the drawer, we can peg these out in the wind.
Can you open it from here?
Yep. And in you go. As you can see, you've got access to your bag there, the dirty bag. So if you need to put some, you know, washing or anything in there, you've got access to that. And the hose will just stick through here and shower away. Really good for a change room as well.
Yep.
Yep. Any questions with that?
Wonderful.
Looks good.
Okay.
And to put it back,
Yeah, so it's like
push it
anything, like any camping equipment that goes in a bag, this is the hardest part, is putting it back.
Yeah.
But still quite relatively easy. So we did this arm last, we're gonna do this arm first.
Yeah.
Same deal, you're gonna feel a bit of tension, then it's just gonna pop.
Okay.
All right, just with this, watch the clip as you go. This just unlocks,
Okay.
like that. And then we're going to just hold it there. What we're gonna do now is grab the bottom, and we can actually don't have to bend down, we just kind of stand at the back, chuck the cords in. Any of these kind of products, the tighter we do this and the more effort we put into this, the easier it's gonna be to get back in that bag. Nothing wrong with wrapping these up wet as well, that's fine. So I'm gonna hold this up, gonna grab my strap out now, put that in, bring that down. You see that? You get the strap up there hiding at the back, and then this one's double feed through. Yep. Like that. Try and hide some of these up here, and then we're gonna grab the bag, put it back over. If you wanna do that side, Till. Get around that corner. If you find it hard to get around the corner, once you've got one corner in, if you give this a push, like that, then normally you can pull it across. Always makes a lot out of me. Stick your fingers in. Perfect, done. All right. All right, so I'm gonna start from this side. If you come across here, we showed you the 15 amp power lead to charge the camper. So I'll use this opportunity just to talk a little bit about battery management. We set these vehicles up with a very good solar panel on top of the roof, and it also charges the house battery when the car is driving. Lithium battery in there, typically speaking, with just this fridge and a bit of lighting and a water pump here and there. If you're driving regularly every day, the sun is shining, you will just go for days and days on end.
If you would stay at a campground and don't drive for maybe like 3 days or something, could that
That's
work?
where we recommend to plug in.
Yeah.
Yep. So we definitely recommend, and each vehicle is different, and we'll talk about that as we go through the vehicles. But this specific vehicle and most of the W Express rooftop tents, as long as you're driving every day and you're in the sun, they'll just keep ticking over the battery management. However, you do have a battery gauge. So you can see red is good, green is good, sorry. Orange is okay, and red is bad. So no different than a traffic light system. 13.4, amazing. It'll just keep running. Once we get down to orange, we need to think about, are we parking under shady trees? Are we doing much driving the next couple of days? And if not, maybe we just need to adjust our plans or change our plans and plug in for one night. Once you do that, the battery's fully charged and up you go again.
What would be the worst case scenario if you don't plug it in? If it runs out of power, what will happen?
Well, with this one, you can't get into bed because it's got electric rooftop tent. Now, there is always tricks, but it's not something we're going to show you unless you ring us up and you need some assistance on the road, because it's a bit of a complex thing.
But could we drive the car? Could we start the engine?
Being a lithium battery, once they go below 10.5 volts, you need to basically jump start them. Now, that is either by plugging in the battery charger or getting the battery and jump starting it. Again, we can assist you with that, but on the phone. Yeah.
But could we drive the vehicle if the battery is low?
Sorry, yes, you can.
Okay, so
Completely separate.
This is separate. You have
Sorry.
one battery in here,
Yes.
and this battery charges that battery.
Yep. So you can still get to that
Yeah.
campsite or that power.
And that second battery will run by driving.
Charged by driving,
solar power.
solar, and or
And
240 volts.
if you plug it in at a powered campsite.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like the worst case scenario pretty much is that I cannot use the fridge,
Yep.
or that I need to check, will the rooftop tent go up and down? And
Yes,
this is
that's right.
Yeah, and it's really never happened probably.
No, very, very rare. Yeah, very, very rare.
Perfect.
All right.
Perfect.
All right, so coming across here, so we've gone through the battery charger, the voltmeter. Here we have some switches, so we have roof lights, interior lights. So basically, there's some lights up here. You can't see them much now, but in the dark, they're very, very good. You can also isolate them individually if you want. So they're buttoned, but to turn them on, there's the two lights here. The third switch and last switch is the water tank. This one here is a spare. So we turn the water tank on. Now we come around to our tap and just watch your feet. That's water. Once you're finished with your water, always turn the water pump on. There's no point having it on and having it building pressure when it's not needed, okay? Here we have 12 volt socket for charging and USB points. This is our DC-DC charger. So right now you can see it's connected to the house battery at 13.5 volts. And because channel 2 is the sun icon, you can see that the solar is charging the vehicle. The engine, which is channel 3, is flashing, which means it can sense that it's connected to the car, but it's not drawing anything off it because the car is not running. If I started the car now, you would see that go solid. Just a good way to see that everything's working fine and properly. All right, any questions with the electric side of it?
No, but with the water you just showed us, like, can we drink that water?
Yes. So we always recommend putting drinkable, and when you leave, there's drinking water put in. It's just making sure that you only put drinking water in along your travels. Okay. But yes, you absolutely can.
You can just put your bottle there, just fill it up, and then drink from it. Or do we need to put anything in, like some...
No. So we regularly clean the tanks out. And they get fresh water when you leave here. So as long as you maintain the integrity of it along your adventure, then absolutely you can. Perfect. Cool.
All right. In the fridge?
Oh, my favourite. So amazing fridges these. I love them. 85 litre fridge in this vehicle. We turn it to number 3 and you just feel how cold it is. Oh, absolutely superb. Little ice tray there as well. And remember I said, don't put your beers in there warm, okay? Don't think you're going to be cheeky and quick chill one in there, all right? No, I definitely would. All right, so that's your fridge there. Easy to operate, just leave it on. Don't need to do anything. I'll just leave it on number 3 and away you go. All right, so now we go through all the kitchen utensils, everything we give you. So we've got a teapot to go on the gas stove. We have collapsible strainer and salad bowl, fry pan, saucepan, and a larger saucepan here. You can rearrange these however you like to get more food in and storage. We've got the pantry here, which I'll show you in a second. Now we have 2 drawers here. So we open up. Inside here we have all your knives and forks. We've got scissors, lighters, matches, can openers, tongs, ladles, graters, the whole lot. Everything you need to cook that amazing camp meal.
All the good stuff.
Yep. These are deceiving, but yep. When you shut them, just give them a good shut. And in here we have plates, bowls, some smaller plates. You like the colour? Plastic cups, chopping boards, and some plastic wine cups as well. All right.
Which wine do you recommend?
Me? I'm not a wine person. However, Tracy, we're going to talk about wines. So Tracy's from the Margaret River region. She can give you a full lowdown on the wines.
Yes, yeah, we need a list later.
Yeah. All right. In here is your pantry. So again, we just open that and all dry food storage through there.
Perfect.
Okay. Any questions on that? Beautiful. What we're going to do now is show you the rooftop tent. I get a bit excited when I show you these, so bear with me. They are the most amazing tent and definitely the highlight of our vehicle. So I'm going to shut this just so we get a really good view of what happens. So with the comfort that comes with this comes a bit of responsibility, okay? So I got a bit of a process that if you follow, it would be absolutely amazing. But basically the rule of thumb is if you look after the tent, it'll look after you. So because it's electric, you have 4 clips to take off. If you leave one on and go up, you can imagine what's going to happen. It's going to come off and you're going to bend the arms inside and it's just going to make for a much less comfortable sleep. So if you follow my process, you will absolutely be fine and not forget to take one of the clips off. So this is our telescopic ladder. So we're going to undo that, lift this up, and we're going to take our little safety pin out here. We have the instructions facing me, simply for the angle of the bracket, and then I'm going to slide this on like so. Okay. Back that goes in, so now she won't come off, and you're not going to slip off as you're getting down during the night. All right, so we have 4 clips to take off. So what we're going to do, and I'm going to get you guys to have a go of this as well. So I'll show you one. We take the little safety clip off, push this in. Can you see that? We push that in to get that up. We grab the clip and we move it right out of the way and lock it back in. We keep this in our hand. So If you guys want to have a go at one, there's 2 more on the other side to do as well. These ones here, a bit more tricky because it's underneath the awning.
Just so we can reach it. So it's just...
Well, that's why I've got the ladder for you, you know?
Yeah, I just can jump on the...
Yeah, jump up on the tyre. Yeah.
Wait for them. I'll do it.
The filming Jim do one.
Yeah, maybe he's failing as well. Did you take off the thing already?
Yeah, I've done it here. There's another one there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one? Yeah. And we could also use a ladder up here if you don't want to jump on.
That's
the
correct.
tire.
I've got the step ladder there. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what we do now, you're probably starting to realise why I'm doing this. So if I've got 4 of these in my hand, there's a very good chance I've taken 4 clips off.
Yeah.
But what we're going to do is just going to do a quick another check. And I'm happy with that. So now what I do, just as a secondary, and if you're working in a pair, then it's good to have someone on the button side and the other person here, and we're just communicating verbally, making sure everything goes up all right.
Okay.
Once we're clear of that, we've got an up button and a down button here. You see these? Up button, down button. Mm-hmm. Jim,
Yep.
It's all yours.
Okay.
Hit that up button and I'm going to tell you when to stop and I'll show you why.
Okay.
All right, stop there. So what we do now is we just do a quick check. And again, if you've got the second person standing here, Jim, you don't need to move because you can see that L shape. I can see this L shape and I just go, yep, keep going. She's all good.
Okay.
And you're going to hold that button until you get to the top. That's it. So it's got a limit switch. Once it stops, let it do its thing. It will just stop on its own. Yeah, amazingly easy. You wait till you see the comfort up there. It's 100mm high density mattress, absolute glorious. You can sit up there, you can play a game of cards, you can have, tell ghost stories, whatever you like to do. Amazing. Not many tents you can sit up and have a chat and escape the weather if you need to. You know? Yeah.
Can I get up?
So I'm actually going to ask you to get up because I'm going to show you, get up there and show you the features and benefits of the tent. I'm just going to get my ladder. Okay, so I'm going to show you the feature and benefits of the tent. So we have here a push light there, and then we have, if I can reach, and a his and hers fan. I like to call them his and hers, yeah? So you have a fan there and a fan there. We discussed earlier that if you need to charge your devices, there's the USB splitter in the vehicle. If you need to bring that up here, just here is a 12-volt socket.
That's so cool.
Plug it in there and then you can charge your devices at night. There we go. We've got it here. So we're going to plug that in and you'll just see that lit up there.
Awesome.
All right?
And we can leave all the bedding in here like it is.
Yeah, so...
Can we even put a little more?
No, look, we normally say not to. So the way we've got it set up here, or we had it set up just with the pillows in the middle, we have a fitted sheet on, we have a top blanket, a top sheet and 2 pillows. We put the pillows in the middle and we put the blinds down. Really important for everything, the arms to have freedom. There's so much storage in the vehicle. If you want extra bedding, we can give it to you. You just need to bring it down in the morning. Yep. And we just have everything flat and we lay the windows down like this. So the idea is that you put the ladder on the tent, go up with the tent, come on up, zip the windows up. If you want just fly screen, we will unzip the fly screen itself like this. We roll that up and tuck it in beside the mattress, and then we have just fly screen.
Perfect.
Now that means you potentially, if it's a beautiful night, which in Western Australia it's almost always is, you can have breeze coming from all 4 directions. It's such a comfortable sleep. Quite amazing. If you're lucky enough to find a really good spot on the beach, then you can hear the waves crashing during the night.
And will the wind shake you up a little?
Look, they'll take a lot of wind, so you don't need to worry about wind itself. They're quite a strong structure. But yeah, absolutely, in a super windy night, you're going to hear some shaking around. That is with every tent.
But you don't need to be nervous about it.
No, definitely not.
Safety
We've had
or something.
people, like in 150 mils of rain in Exmouth a couple of years ago, not one drop of water in the tent.
Awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, the biggest thing you're going to hear is a bit of flapping if it's super windy. that's the tent. I can show you if you want to hop down. I'll show you how it all folds down. When you pack up the tent, just lie your doona flat. If you've used the top sheet, you can leave that flat. Put your 2 pillows in the middle, and then all blinds must be down and over like that. That way the arms have the freedom to go down and up without getting caught on anything, and the tent shuts very nicely. All right, you want to hop on down and I'll show you how it comes down. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go down with the tent. We're going to do it in a couple of stages, and I'm going to explain why. So Till, maybe you can do the honours. You got the down button there. I'm going to get you to press that, and I'll let you know when to stop. All right, so we're just going to stop there. So maybe if you come around this side, I can show you a little bit better. On each side of the window, you'll see that it's starting to fold in nicely. On each side of the window, you've got stitching here, and inside there you'll hear this. 2 aluminium slats. So the way the tent's designed is that the roof pushes down that slat, it goes down past that slat and folds in. But what can happen sometimes is it just wants to pop out and in. So we just do a quick check. If one of them was popping out, all we would do is give it a tap like that and it'll just pop in. It will most likely not happen for your whole trip. But if it does happen and you keep going, it's going to go out instead of in. You have to go all the way back up the top. So it's better to spend the 3 seconds now just doing a quick check. So once we're comfortable with that, Till, you can jump back on that button, and we're going to go all the way down to about this far away, Till, and we're just going to make sure the canvas is all tucked in. Keep going, just hold your finger down. That's right, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. All right, that'll do. Just enough to get your fingers in. So now what we're going to do is just do a quick check. Bit of canvas here, just poke that in. That's it, we're done. I'll check the front. Once we're comfortable that we've got all the canvas in, we can finish off. So if you want to press that button again until it stops.
Should I put it down?
Yep. Yep.
Put it on.
Jim's got it. Once it stops, Jim, just take your finger off the button. That's it. Always let the tent do its own thing. And now we've got our clips to put back on. Very important. I have had a customer before forget to put the clips back on. Guess what happened? Tent went up, somehow didn't get damaged, but the bedding was gone. So off to Kmart they went. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put the 4 clips on, make sure they lock in, and then we put the carabiners back on as well. Jim's got my carabiners. Thank you kindly. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to take the ladder down, take the safety clip off, slide the ladder out, lovely noise, put the clip back in, and there's buttons on every rung, but we're not going to waste our time with that. We're going to go down the bottom, press the bottom buttons, keep our fingers out of the way, and down she goes. Nice and quick. All right, so I may need this depending on how much climbing I want to do. I may need this. We might just leave that till for a sec if that's all right. I'll leave this shut just because we're going to do the awning now. All right, so another amazing part of this camper is the awning. So if you want to know more about the awning, you can have a look. It's Ostrich Wing 270-degree Junior, it is called. I'm going to unzip the bag. Quite easy, and I'm going to grab the bag and just throw it over the back like that. Yep. That's all I need to do. All right, so once we've unzipped the bag, we're just going to throw the bag over the back like this, and very simply unclip the awning, and we just hold it and drop it down like so. And this is what we call a leading arm. So we're going to grab the leading arm and we're just going to walk. When we get to here, Till and Jim, we're just going to hook the metal clip on. Now the reason we do this here is, just to explain it, it's in a rope sail tray. See how it can slide? Yeah. We want that to do that whilst it's going around the corner, otherwise it's too tight. Once it gets around the corner, we can hook that on. And then we're going to hook this up to the tent clip. If the tent is open, you can hook it up to the top of the clip, anywhere that's secure. And then we're going to tighten it up like so. Once we do that, all we do, lift up the arm, like this, and that is it, awning done, really quickly.
Cool. What's with the feet?
Right, so with the legs, typically speaking, you don't need to use the legs, it's a freestanding awning, yeah? So you can buy walls for these, so that's why the legs are there. However, I leave the legs on because there's a great use for them. So, like I said, as an awning, you don't need to use anything, no legs, no ropes. But let's say you want to hang up your towels because you've been to the beach, but you're not in near any trees where you can tie your washing line to,
Yep.
or you're going to want to hang your towels up to dry. Doing them on here is just putting
Pressure
on there. So we're going to drop the leg, and what we do with the leg, we come down here, unscrew, we're going to push up, tighten that up until it locks in. Now you feel the difference in the support. Yeah, you can hang your towel
Or
up.
t-shirt if you got sweaty.
Yep.
Do we have to use the legs when it's going to be a little bit windy?
No, because wind is always going to push it up, not down.
So if the wind cannot break the awning?
The wind absolutely can break an awning.
Yeah.
Absolutely it can. But what we say is that it will withstand more wind than what you will. So as long as when you go to bed you put it away, that's why we give you a really easy awning. Go for that lovely stroll, sunset stroll down the beach, just quickly put it away. You don't need to zip the bag up, and you'll see when I shut it, it takes like 10 seconds just to kind of clip it up, and then you go for your walk, and then walk it back out when you're back.
Okay.
Because it'll be when you're not looking at it that the wind will damage it.
Yeah.
But if the wind is going to damage it and you're sitting here, you won't want to sit there.
Yeah.
It will withstand more wind than you.
Yeah.
Well, not just that, you won't want to be sitting out there.
Yeah.
They're very strong. Yep.
Good to know.
All right. Any questions with that? All right, so I'm going to go do everything from reverse. Put this leg down, and I do have the ladder there if you need it, but I just reached by jumping.
Good job.
Yeah. I'm going to release a bit of tension off here, and then I'm going to undo the clip. So again, we have the ability for this to slide back and forwards.
Yeah.
I'll show you a little trick when we get up here. And when we wrap it up, we want to make sure that our clip is accessible. So you'll see here, I just want to flip that over.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put that up like that. So the clip was down here, I'm going to put it up there. That way I know where to find it. And all I'm going to do, grab this, I'm going to do a fold, a roll, about that big, there I say. And on the second roll, I'm going to pull it up and over. I'm going to grab that, clip that in, and that is it. So if you're going for that walk down the beach or you're going to bed, just leave it like that. So in the morning, or when you get back from the beach, you can just walk it out. Otherwise, if you're packing up for the day, then we're going to zip it up. Jim's got a little tip. What I do is I grab the zip and I push up as I go along, and I find it really easy to zip
Oh,
up.
that's really easy.
Yeah, very generous bag.
Wow.
However, once it's done, it doesn't look like it's generous.
Yeah, perfect.
That's it, guys.
Great.
That's your vehicle. All right. Here we have our tire deflator and air compressor. So what we're going to do first up is we're going to pop the bonnet. So we're going to do it all in one. So what I'm going to do, if you want to come around here, guys, and just show you to pop the bonnet. Every car is different, but this one here is there. I'm going to click that, come around here, lift this up. All right, sorry, it hasn't worked, guys. That was a bit strange. Can you pull up on it as I do that? Something's not right here. Yeah, didn't click, but it's there. All right. So we press that, and then we're going to grab the rod on this one is actually on the bonnet. Thanks, Till, for noticing that. And we're going to put it down here. All right. So we come over to our battery over here, and we're going to do everything on this side here. So firstly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the air compressor. All right, so what we're going to do is connect this to the battery first. So we'll do red on red, black on black. Oh, just joking. All right, so now we've connected our air compressor. I'm just going to check that it's working, which it is, all good, and we're going to come back to that in a sec, okay? So for tyre pressures, you can have 3 different tyre pressures. I'm going to get you to write these in your phone. So every tyre pressure is different for different vehicles, but with this vehicle here, on the road, we're going to do 40 psi. On the red dirt, corrugations, any kind of rocky roads, we're going to do 30 psi. And then when we go on the sand, we're going to do 15, nice and low, so we get more tyre on the sand, more grip. Okay with that?
Yep. Road 40, dirt 30, and sand or soft
15. Yep. Now I know, and they will go and coincide with the different driving modes. So you've got 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive high range, and then low range. So you're going to go 40, 30, 15. However, if you're doing a water crossing and you know that it's rocky and it's not soft sand, and you're already on 30 psi, to do a 20-meter water crossing, you're not going to drop it down to 15, but you are going to go into low range, just for the safety aspect. So a little bit of common sense prevails. There is always heaps of people on the road in those kind of instances where you might just spitball and ask them questions. Hey guys, what do you recommend here? Or see what everyone else is doing as well. But rule of thumb, that is the go. Now this is a 3-in-1 deflator and tire checker. So what we're going to do here, we're going to check our tire pressure. So I'm going to screw that on, like so, and then I'm going to check my tire pressure. Now, so yeah, it's about 36. Now there is a difference between cold and hot pressures. So this will go up 2 to 3 psi once you start driving. The tires get hot. So just keep that in mind. 2 or 3 psi at the 40 and the 30 range are not too bad. The difference between 15 and 18 or 19 when you're in soft sand is a much bigger. If you think about the percentage, it's almost 20 to 25% higher again. So you really want to be checking your tires in the sand. If you're driving in the heat but you let them down when it was cool, you may want to just do a check after an hour or so and make sure they're not increasing, because then you run the risk of getting bogged. And you go, why? And then you check your tires and you go, I'm at 20 psi. I'm sure I did it at 15. So just think about that when it's happening. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let some air out. So all I do, if I just want to do a little bit, I'll just hold it in. But if I want to do a lot with this particular product, I'm going to twist it and let it go. And I can wait a while. After a few times, you'll get used to how long to wait. You can also deflate with this, so I'm going to show you that as well. All right, so now I check and I'm almost down to 30. So I'm going to unscrew that now. And now we're ready for the red dirt. I'm just going to show you really quickly how to deflate with this. It's the exact same concept. So they're actually the same brand, and you'll see it's the same. It's pushing in and locking. So the good thing is even though it's a tedious job, you both can be doing it. So you can do the left-hand side and you can do the right-hand side. It's much quicker, all right, when 2 people are doing it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pump the tire back up. This is an air fitting, so I pull that back to engage onto there. And then I'm going to, so this is a bit different, not a screw on, it's a clip on, a little bit like the service stations, and I'm going to clip that on, and I'll pump it up. 6-meter hose, so it will reach around to all 4 tires. What you will also notice is, even though we want to go back to 40 psi, we want to go past. So if you turn that off till, it's going to go below. So we need to wait for it and just check it every now and then. So we're going to turn that back on for a second. My guess would be, it would be around 40 now. Almost spot on. Okay, and that is it. Are you guys all right with that?
Sure.